Welcome, Warrior. Forgive the delay. I am exactly a little bit less than 2 minutes. I said 4 o'clock, running around New York City, getting a lot done. But I want to jump on because I have to keep giving you good information. So please, everybody, I see Fred's here, Linda's here. Everybody jump on. Let me know you can hear me. 5 by 5. Let's get to it. I want to tell you about some great news. But first of all, make sure you sign up for our newsletter. I just sent a new one out. And if you haven't signed up yet, you didn't miss anything because I resend it tomorrow. So go to our website, lynswarriors.org. Scroll down on the right side. It says e-newsletter. Just sign up for it because this one is a very important one. We are working alongside the Black Poster Project. I don't even know. I get very choked up when I mention that. But I want you to do some homework. And I want you to investigate what that is. And also alongside our great friends at the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration, to bring a live town hall here in New York City on Friday, March 28th. All are welcome. We need to fill every single seat. It is about moms, family members, dads who have lost loved ones, and many are children. And one mom, Dee Gillen, she started this after losing her son, Scott, creating posters, black posters, therefore the name. And I don't want to tell you too much because I want you to see the visuals. The visuals are overwhelming, powerful. So we've got the town hall. And then Saturday on March 29th, 10 to 6, it is going to be a wellness event. All of this is free. We need to get kids there, families there. We'll have lunch on Saturday. There will be demonstrations, yoga. It is about healing. This is a great thing. And again, it's all free. If you are in the New York City area, this is a must attend. You can find out information if you sign up for the newsletter. And I'm urging all of you to do that. And then also always on Lynn's Warriors on Twitter, on Facebook. Let's see who's here. Lionel Nation. Great. 5 by 5, loud and clear. Gracie's here. Fred's here. Kristen's here. Uh-oh. Fred gifted 10 Lynn's Warriors memberships. Fred, you are a warrior indeed, because that is exactly what we need. We need people to get the information. We need people to join us and become warriors and then spread the information within their home, within their community. That is a warrior move. So, Fred, thank you so much for being such a great supporter. Here's what I want to talk about also. This is the great news. I'll start with the great news, and then I'll make you aware of something that is also very urgent going on in the United States. Okay, where should I start? I'm going to start with there is a terrific new report, and I got to say it because remember, information is what makes me be able to back up everything I talk about with facts, right, and truths, because everything we say at the Warriors, we want to be able to back up. The information is from our great friends and colleagues, Right for Girls. And again, I'll put the information also in the body of this video. It's Rights, the number 4 Girls, based out of Washington, D.C. And our friend Yasmin Vafa, she's the executive director. And actually, I did an interview with her yesterday, so please look for that interview. And you will understand in depth what we are talking about. I decided, and rightfully so, everybody, that there's only a couple of things that are going to make us end all of this exploitation. No matter how much we talk about it, how much we share, yes, we must do that in our homes and communities, but on the federal level, on the city level, wherever you live, right, your local level, state level, and then the federal government. Now, I don't expect everybody to be marching on Washington. Actually, I do, but I'll be there next week marching on Washington, carrying all of you with me because your support and your loyalty, everything you're giving me empowers me to do this on behalf of all of us. Well, I just noticed this was falling off. Okay, let me take that off. Here's what's happening. Rights for Girls put out a terrific new report about sex buying. Now we got to don't tune out here because here's how we're going to begin to make a dent here. We need to address the buyer, which is the demand of all of this exploitation, whether it's in real time, whether it's online, our kids and all that goes along with it. So we need to end demand. We need to kick to the curb all of these monsters. I don't even know what to call them. I don't like the word. I'm tired of the word predator. I'm tired of, I don't even know. I'm going to call them monsters, but I think that's doing disservice almost to monsters. These are things that I don't even know how to describe people who do these things to children. I don't. I'll stick with monsters for right now. Then there's something called Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, because that is the one piece of legislation that every single big tech company, that is their argument, and rightfully so. Because if I have to tell you, if I was a big tech company, I'd be doing exactly what they're doing. The bottom line in all of this is to make money. And they're all making tons of money off the backs of our children and off the backs of all of us. And because they are empowered by this piece of legislation that told them in 1996, Facebook, Twitter, we didn't even have that then, right? That you are nothing more than a billboard. You are nothing more than a newsstand. Therefore, do your business, do what you want, and you can get away with it. So you do that, and I do that too. And it doesn't matter. There are so many lawsuits pending right now, which is terrific. But until I don't even want to amend it, which I'll be talking about when I'm in Washington next week, we got to get rid of it. This thing is so old, 1996, please. And we just have to destroy that thing. And that's a goal of the Warriors. So we've got those two things. Looking at the demand for all this exploitation, how are we going to hold those who cause harm accountable? We have laws on the books. Why aren't we enforcing them and creating new laws? That's part of this whole demand thing, right? Getting rid of this ridiculous Section 230, which is holding everything up on the internet, right? Why should a mom or dad or a child be responsible in cleaning up the internet if there's something on there as far as dialogue, inappropriate images? That burden should also fall on these big tech companies who are laughing all the way to the bank, and who knows what else they're doing, right? Doesn't it make you angry? Because it makes me very angry that they're allowed to get away with this, and it makes me very angry. What's everybody doing to amend this? But you know what? It's happening. Things are happening in Washington. So I am thrilled with that. There was a lot of talk to get rid of this. So I'll keep you aware of that. And the third piece that I always tell you about is open and honest communication. If we don't talk to the children, the teens, our young people, age appropriately about these issues, what good is all of this? The kids are seeing and hearing things anyway, so let us be the leaders. Let us give them the information. Let us be the ones. Why do we want the monsters to control their lives? So we have that going on. But I'm so hopeful. I am so hopeful because we've got now this new report Rights for Girls put out about the demand, and I'll leave it all up to you to go and read this report about these people who buy girls and women. They don't look at, they don't even look at them. I can't even describe it to you. The work we do here in New York City, our group, New Yorkers for the Equality Model, last year, collected anonymously kind of all these different billboards where people rate girls and women for sex buying and collected the quotes. Think of a Yelp for sex buying. And I don't call it prostitution because a minor cannot consent. And we know upwards of anywhere from 91 to 97% in the sex trade are forced into it, right? And you know, force, fraud, coercion is the description for slavery, human trafficking. Remember, we call it slavery here at the Warriors, much more descriptive than human trafficking. And so 97%, if that's, can you imagine, are forced into this sex trade. So we collect it. The quotes are unbelievable, the way these buyers talk about these victims, these girls and women. It is so disgusting that is the thinking. And it's even more disgusting that we have right now, and this is where we at the Warriors, and I need all of you, we cannot have our boys thinking this is what you think of or treat girls in this disrespectful manner. And then we have our boys. We have our boys also. We have to talk about our boys. Lori Lewis, thank you very much for the super sticker. Vinny, hello, Vinny. I will say hello to Uncle L for you and for everybody. Let's get that out of the way. Let's talk about our boys. Fastest growing, largest growing demo in human trafficking. Think about that. Boys and young men. Surely it's always been girls and women. Now the boys, kind of the secretive ones. It's been going on forever. We don't talk about it, right? Boys are embarrassed. Men don't want to talk about it, but you know what? We are bringing men to the table here at the Warriors. We need men to step up, to talk to our boys and young men. We need them to say it's okay to talk to us about it. I mean, after all, let's face facts. Very tough for me to talk to 15 and 16-year-old boys, right? But a man going into the room, a man, it's a better fit. Just the way it is, right? It would be the same way with the girls. The girls relate to me. Although, on that note, from our classroom work, which I was so pleased about, you'll be hearing more about schools we're going into. It's piling up. If I tell you, I've been up since 4 a.m. this morning, just nonstop events and schools and all kinds of things happening, which is all great. This is part of our great news today. It is snowballing and happening. It's my dream. It's what I've been working towards. Not to say there isn't work to do, because there's always so much work to do here, but the doors are open, right? And the school I was in, for instance, last week, boys and girls, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, I'm still so proud of those kids. I'm still, questions they ask, their attention span, their manners, everything. As a matter of fact, we're so pleased that we are going to be giving a pizza party tomorrow. And I'll have some pictures of that forthcoming. And again, we don't put kids really in the pictures. You might see the back of their heads, pizza boxes or something like that. But these kids need to be rewarded, right? People respond to being rewarded like that. And these kids are thrilled they're getting a pizza party, right? So we have to be the encouragers, the mentors, the warriors for our kids. And I'm so hopeful. I'm seeing this at this 6th, 7th, and 8th grade level. Edie Crowley's here. Hello, Edie. Welcome. And Edie is our warrior that reminds everybody to hit that like button. Because remember, hitting the like button may not mean a lot to you. It means a lot to us at the Warriors because it keeps the algorithms. We're always talking about those algorithms, right? Who are these algorithms? What are these algorithms? Just know, sometimes they're not our friends, right? So we want to keep hitting so we have more numbers around everything. Kristen says, yes, Mrs. L, schools need these events. So happy the kids were so polite. I was shockingly, we started out with the work thinking, okay, it's kind of high school and college kids. Then I realized, no, we have to get in there younger and younger. My dream is actually to start preschool, age appropriate, right, with things, because we live in a digital world. We live on the internet. It's not going away. We all love it. Look, we're here right now talking across, who knows, the universe. And so let's put the guardrails. Let's have the discussions. So this is part of, I am so, so excited. I really want you all to read. Please go to our X, go to our Facebook, look at, I just posted the interview. You can go here on the channel, Yasmin Vafa. Look at what we talked about. Actually, in the body of that video, you will have all the links. You will have the report. You have to really understand. And I have to tell you, as much as I'm a warrior, I will not sit here and repeat these horrible comments that these people, right, these men, perhaps there's some women mixed in there too, talking about other human beings. I mean, where is, I don't even want to use the word morality. I mean, this is just disgusting stuff, but you know what? You have to be shocked to know what's going on. So look for that. The other thing I want to, just so you know, it's called Buyers Unmasked, Unmasked, exposing the men who buy sex and solutions. This is the part I'm so hopeful for. Solutions to end exploitation. I also want to say that we have a great new campaign. And if we only put our energies, or most people, right, all the energies, all the everything, the excitement around sports in this country, right? I mean, I'm happy. People are happy and they love basketball, baseball, football. There's so much going on around sports, even at the levels of grade schools, high schools, and colleges. That being said, that's okay. That being said, Rights for Girls also just released a brand new campaign in coordination with March Madness, right? Oh, and a reminder, March is Women's History Month in the United States. Just something to think about. What kind of history, legacy are we leaving? You know, girls and women, the way they're being treated today, and are, even though it's Women's History Month, I'm going to throw in boys too. I kind of want to be even here because with the numbers escalating for all of their exploitation, I know it's Women's History Month, but what kind of legacy are we leaving for everybody if we're allowing this to go on? So we have to address all of this. But this campaign is, stopping the madness. And it's in conjunction with the NCAA, March Madness with the brackets and the traveling and the deductions they're going to the cities with the basketball. Everybody's crazed in New York City. I don't know where you are about this March Madness and their brackets, and I'm seeing all kinds of stuff online. But billboards. Now, this may seem very simple, what I'm about to say, but it's the number one thing. All of this talk will only be good if we raise awareness, if we get others to join in, others to talk about it, others to talk to their kids. I don't care if it's, parents, kids, medical professionals, educators, business people. This is something we all need to talk about. So the billboards are going up. And again, you can see this campaign. I really want all of you to go to, I keep sending you to Twitter and Facebook, but go ahead and look at it, or just please go look at this Yasmin Baffa, our colleague yesterday that I put up. And in the body, you will find this campaign, because you know what I ask? I like to give you homework all the time here in the Warriors. What good is it if we don't have solutions and take actions? Because I'm not one just going to keep telling you how bad it is. I'm here today to tell you how great it is, how much hope there is, and how the doors are opening. I can't tell you, I am so ready for Washington next week. I have lined up appointments. We've got the policy roundtable happening on Wednesday. I've got my speeches ready. I'm bringing you all with me, and we're going to do it. We are going to do it, and we're going to change the course of history with all of this. How dare anybody think that this is going to be the United States, all of this exploitation and this craziness? No, it's going to stop. It's going to end right now. That being said, I'm very realistic. Will we truly, across the globe, end human trafficking? People don't like when I say this. The truth is no. We are not going to do it. We are going to change the course of it, though. We are going to work to prevent new victims. We are going to work to educate everybody, and we are going to work to hold those responsible who cause harm. And I'm here to tell you, it is happening today as we sit here. More are being held accountable. I believe there are 13 states right now. It's in the works with their DAs where they want to make this sex trafficking felonies, human trafficking, I should say, felonies. A lot's happening. A lot's happening. And it's all good, right? So we've got the current administration, and we've got this 4-year period to work on all this, but we're already working on what's after 4 years from now, because we have to continue on this path. So we can never let up. 24/7, 365, this work continues non-stop. So Cut Up Chatter says, I hope to see you in May. Okay, Cut Up, we'll talk about it. Fred, you are a captivating, motivating representative in the classroom. Fred, thank you for those kind words. Those are warrior words. I want to talk about that campaign, though, with the billboards. And there are little taglines, March Madness. Let's use this big sporting event. First, I should point out, people always I should say the media. I'm not going to say people. I'm going to say the media. And some of those that represent the media don't like this, but this is the truth. These are just facts I'm giving you. It's very simple. Anytime you have a large gathering of people, that increases sex buying. It's called sex tourism. It can be a convention. It can be a sporting event. It can be a concert. Again, the concentration of where you have people. That is why these pimps and these traffickers and these monsters will flood the market where the people are. Now, here's what we have to do. So wherever the market is, we have to go there and make people aware. Make them aware, and if you're held accountable, you may not do it. It's that kind of thing. If you know you're going to go to jail, you just may not do it. But of course, as you all know, if there are no guardrails or repercussions, lots of people are going to do whatever they want. It's going to be a free-for-all. So I want all of you to look at that March Madness campaign linked in the Yasmin Baffa interview right here on the Warriors YouTube channel, and share that. This is my homework for you. My ask is, it's important right now. You'll see on Twitter, X, right? The Denver campaign, the billboard just went up. Share this on your platforms. Like, that's leveraging the internet for good. Let us snowball all of this information. I mean, research is really tough, but opening up, that's the other piece of good news. You've heard me say many times that, I'm handed studies from 2017, 2018 regarding all of this slavery and this exploitation and kids and mental. I can't use that. Throw it out the window, everybody, because, and I say to their faces, everything's changed. It's changed from a month ago. Where are the new studies? Where are the new stats? And you know what? They're coming in. I always would get the answer: costs money, costs time, costs people. We don't have all that. If you're going to work around human slavery, exploitation, then you better come up with the monies to deal with all of this. But let me tell you, this new report from Yasmin Vafa, Right for Girls, Buyers Unmasked, excellent. And it took her a long time with her team to do all of this. And it's out there, and it gives us a lot of fuel to talk about stats. And that's what we need. Edie says, just encouraging everyone to listen to Mrs. L's interview. Edie, you're a warrior. I'm going to keep telling you that. Everybody here is a warrior. Leslie's here. I don't know, Fred, about public shaming. We have laws. We need to enforce the laws. If you know you're going to jail for a while, or prison even, right? On a larger scale, if you're doing sex trafficking and all that, then public shaming, I don't think matters. Look at the internet full of, well, all day long, and I'm skirting around some algorithms here on the YouTube, as I like to say, but all day long, I think people are normalized and habituated to all of this sexual talk and images, and I don't think it even matters. The days of a man's picture appearing in a newspaper or online with his name, I don't, people read it and say, okay, on to the next thing. I don't think that matters, the public shaming. What matters is we enforce laws and create them. What matters is we talk to the kids and we inoculate them and say, nobody's going to abuse you. Nobody's going to exploit you. That's what we have to do these days. We've got to kind of roll with the punches as our world change, our communities around us. For instance, we've got the internet. This is where we have to get in there and find ways to do it appropriately, right? And not with, kids and young people, just telling them. When I'm working with children, let them be part of the solutions. Let them tell us what's going on. What are they thinking? What do they suggest? What are they experiencing? Bring them to the table. This is what they want. They want to be listened to. They repeatedly say, my parents don't listen to me. My caregivers. Remember, I'm always going to point out to you that families today are made up of, we have grandparents raising kids, older siblings, aunts and uncles. We have a lot of different dynamics going on. So it's very important to recognize that the children will say, nobody's listening to me. We want them to listen. You bring them. That's what I do. You bring them in. Because once, they're shy in the beginning, of course. I may be some strange woman walking into a classroom or a community center. But once they get it, and of course, handing out the snacks, that always helps. But I digress here. They will open up. They want to talk. And they want to be part of the solutions. And I'm telling you, I was blown away. They are smart, smart, smart. This was 6th, 7th, and 8th grade last week. A lot more of that to come. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything here. Cut Up Chatter. Thank you so much, Cut Up. The more time I spend talking to you, listening, preparing to write, the deeper it scales me. It's very scary. I think you mean scares me. It's very scary. Forgive me, Lynn. It's so hard. Well, here's the thing. It's all hard. But you can't look at it that way. If you're Cut Up Chatter, and I know because you do beautiful writing, that's cathartic. That's helpful. It's helpful for survivors, sharing that somebody out there cares about them or is writing or sharing their feelings. They like that. They want to know they're not alone, right? And truly not alone. If they're reading something from somebody else, as opposed to somebody just talking, you're not alone. That doesn't hold, Just keep up the good work. And I do suggest to you, though, Cut Up Chatter, you can also take a breath. You can also step away for a day and just relax and not even address any of this. My biggest fear always is, because it's so overwhelming, and things can seem impossible, step away, take a breath, right? And just focus on one thing. That's it. We're not going to solve all the world's problems. We're not going to rid the world of human trafficking, slavery. We're not going to save or rescue. Those are words actually I don't like. But we can, in our own world, engage and educate and empower each other. So just be cautious of, don't let it overwhelm you, right? Just keep going at your own pace and don't think you have to do everything. Edie says the interview with Yasmin was great. You know, she's a human rights lawyer. She is smart as a whip. And these are the kind of things I want you to listen to gain knowledge that we are working on these issues and things are moving along. Things are happening. And of course, I have to give you the truth. We have a new administration, and that is helping everything because the last 4 years, well, I don't even want to go there. Nothing but things worsened. But we're correcting everything. Look what's happening in just, 2 months? A lot's going on. Now we've got Leslie with hearts. Thank you. Let me just make sure I don't miss anybody. William, love you, Mrs. L. You're better looking than Mr. L. Now, William, I know you're being funny, but we're all good looking. All the warriors that are listening right now, we're all everything. Everybody is just beautiful, beautiful warriors. Leslie says, if it's hard, then it's worth it. Just take baby steps. Exactly, Leslie. Anything easy? It's not, I'm telling you, it's not worth it. Leslie also asked, what are safety tips for a teenager going on vacation? Well, that's a loaded one, especially since we just have this whole story about the Dominican Republic and this young woman who disappeared. You know what? Here's the thing. You have to, first of all, a teenager. If you're 18 and under, the parent usually has paid for that trip, right? Or maybe the teen worked and saved half the money, the parent. You have to do your research. These, and I'm jumping a little bit ahead, but the interview will be up later. Our great friend Irv Brandt. He is just terrific. And I'm having that interview. We did it yesterday. I've got to put it up when I'm done here. I was tweaking a couple of things in his information box. Listen to that as soon as you hear it go up, because he lays out very correctly for us and has, federal marshal, U.S. Marshal Service, a storied law enforcement career. He knows all about the cartels. Oh, my goodness. I could talk to Irv for hours. But anyway, he laid out for us about this resort that these two young people were at and what goes on there. And basically the bottom line is, he said, it's 24 hours a day drinking. Morning, noon, and night, drinking stations all over. People are drunk and falling in pools and oceans, and all kinds of crazy stuff is happening. I mean, it happens even, right? It's been going on for years. Florida, kids have flocked down to there for those vacations and spring break. You need to be on top of that. You need to be on top of that. You need to talk, and you need to know exactly where they're going. You need to research where they're staying. Now, that being said, kids are crafty, right? How are you going to, if you empower your child, give them a base? It starts young. You're going to be okay. But the drinking, and we know along with drinking goes a lot of drugs, usually at these places, you have to really work on talking to your kids because too much harm is happening. And that is a horrific, horrible story. We pray for her parents. We pray there might be some closure. As our friend Irv pointed out, maybe her body's stuck in some kind of reef or on a rock, that they get their beautiful daughter back, for this closure. But it's all horrible, right? And we don't know about this young man. He was released. We know there was drinking involved because he told us about it. Kids drinking, dark beaches, waves. No, we've got to have more. We really do have to have that leash a little bit more around, because we see all of these things happening. So starts with talking with your kids and knowing exactly where they're going. I think people think, as Irv pointed out, the kids are safe. They're going with a school group perhaps, or school friends. Nobody's ever safe. So we've got to address all of that, but we've got to work harder on that one, because we also think if kids are, 17, 18, 19, 20, they kind of know what they're doing. Again, if they're drinking or any drugs are involved, all bets go out the window. Okay, Edie says teenage safety. Let's see what Edie says. Teenage safety, golden handcuffs. Edie, congratulations. You have been a warrior member for 6 months. Wow. I remember, Edie, when you signed up. 6 months. Time is flying by around here at the Warriors. Yes, Leslie says Punta. Yeah, yes, it's a party place. That's what Irv was saying. Leslie says, well, we don't know. We don't know if she's alive. Don't you think she would have called her parents by now? We don't know. We don't know. Or perhaps I don't even want to go there. You know, are these resorts complicit in sex trafficking? Again, we need some facts and proof, but perhaps we don't know. Let's see what we have here. Cut Up Chatter says, thank you, Cut Up Chatter. I meant scalds me deeply. Oh, I see. Okay. I put it away, take it out, work through. If you don't stay present and unhidden, it sets like glue. Yes, there's something to be said for that. But Cut Up Chatter, I do want you to step away a little bit and just, you can step away for a day and that's it. And then come back to it. I understand what you're saying though. Here's the other thing. So I want to leave you with a couple of things as I'm getting ready to run out to a very important meeting. I want everybody to understand today is Warrior Wednesday, right? And I wanted to make sure I spoke with you and joined you because I'm going to keep telling you, there are so many hopeful things going on, so much great news. Finally, because I have to tell you, the last 4 years, every day, insurmountable. We never give in, we never give up, but there was nobody listening. For instance, in Washington, there's a lot changing. Even in your town, I'm telling you, in cities, there is something very disturbing. I wanted to just give you this piece of information. It's very important you understand. Since you listen to the Warriors, you know that I've spoken about the full decriminalization of the sex trade. And you know that that means, for instance, and this is happening across the U.S., it's been happening the last few years in New York State, my home state, that there is this overwhelming media presence and these loud, well-financed voices that are saying, it's okay, be a teacher, a nurse, a doctor, a fireman, and a sex worker, because it's okay. Empower yourself. Use your body. That's a career. Sex is not work. Work is not sex. So right now in New York State, for instance, there is this push that they decriminalize. But what you must understand, listen up and listen good right now, everybody. Legalizing prostitution sounds okay, right? Let people do what they want. However, here's what I want you to listen to. That means legalizing pimps, traffickers, sex buyers, brothels, and we're not having that for our children. That's what that means. This is not empowerment. When I just got through telling you a few minutes ago, 91 to 97% of women in the sex trade say they were forced into it, coerced into it, right? Or some sort of fraud was used against them. A woman may see something. I don't know if anybody here has ever I get these things on I have every kind of security thing. I get text messages, come make $800 a day. I'll click on this link and let's talk. Now, if I'm getting them with all these security and deleting and reporting as junk and they're still getting through, can you imagine some vulnerable person who thinks, well, maybe there's something to this, and they click on it and maybe, okay, come meet and we'll talk about it. And we know people are going out and doing this and meeting, and they get thrown into the sex trade. That is a very common example I just gave you. That's happening. When you are desperate to put food on your table or pay your rent or take care of your kids, people will do just about anything, and I don't blame them. And we have to have better ways, right? So they want to make all this legal. Can you imagine? This is what our children are surrounded by. I want to talk about Rhode Island as an example. Rhode Island realized, I'll just kind of bottom line it for you as we finish up. They realized that they had this full decrim for years because they thought my body, my choice, it's going on forever. They realized what a disaster because it's supply and demand. Remember, runaway train, no guardrails, more people will do it. There's more money to be made. When those who are willing to do sex work, everybody, it's a very small percentage. When they run out, what do you think they do? They gather up people. They force them into it because they want to make more money. It's supply and demand. So no guardrails equal increase in exploitation all around, increase in crimes. It's not only sexual. We have labor. They're forced into different labor situations. They're forced into the drug situation, buying drugs. These horrible monsters get these poor, vulnerable people, for the most part, to deal their dirty drugs, right? They don't want to dirty their hands, to traffic other women and girls, boys and men, to pull all kinds of online scams. The online scams are out of control. And I'm telling you, people have to wake up. People have to wake up because with this advent of AI, and they can take 2 seconds of your voice and replicate it, create a whole conversation that, little Susie may call grandma and say, Grandma, I'm on the spring break. I got arrested. I need $5,000 for my bail. You got to help me. I can't tell mom and dad. And grandmas are sending the money. That's just an example. We got to wake up that these things are not happening. Nobody's going to, give you anything that sounds too good to be true is a scam. You have to look at it like that. If your grandchild, for instance, called you, call the parents. Check it out. Call the grandchild. We've got all these situations going. As a matter of fact, I just got I age myself here, but I don't care. My AARP newspaper comes every month, little kind of thin magazine, takes 5 minutes to read. The whole thing's about scams. So I urge all of you, go online. Look at all these online scams happening, right? And so that is something we talk about with Irv, when I put this up later, Irv Brandt, our newest interview, sextortion. I wanted the male voice, his law enforcement career, to tie in to what's going on because our boys in particular, teenage boys, are being targeted, and they're also targeting in middle class and upper middle class neighborhoods because they figure the kids have the money. When they threaten them, you don't send me the $500. I'm going to distribute this picture to all your classmates and your parents and all the sports, everybody, because we have to work harder on being more private. Kids are giving away, adults do it, but we're focused on the kids right now. Within 24 hours, we know that kids have given away all kinds of information online to strangers, where they live, what school, their siblings, their pets, their parents. They had a fight with mom. And that exploiter will use that against that child, against that teen, to exploit them, sextortion. And it's an inappropriate image. Let's talk about what it is. The kids trade them. They don't have too many qualms about it. It is our job to tell them once on the internet, there forever. I can't tell you how many times I hear, I deleted it. Deleted it. It's there forever. It's they think Snapchat, or Snap, I think it's called now. It disappears in 10 seconds. Somebody's captured the image. It's in a cloud. It is somewhere. Nothing truly disappears. Think about that. Adults need to think about that too. And the other thing is, so the kids exchange these images. And it's usually the other person saying, here's a picture of me. You all know about this because I talk about it a lot. Now send me one of, you. And they do it. And therein lies the rub, as we call it, where they go in for the kill. The next thing is, I've got your image and I'm sending it, send me the money. And we have kids killing themselves about all of this. Absolutely not. Again, allowing these monsters to put it over on us. Well, we're not doing that. We're not doing that in 2025 going forward. We're having none of this. The other good news is, so Rhode Island, they allowed all this. They took it back because it was a disaster with all of these sex trafficking and exploitation and crimes. And they then made it a crime. And I'm kind of just breaking this down for everybody very easily. It's a crime, all of this. Well, guess what? They're back to their old tricks. They are trying to decriminalize all of this. It's that old, my body, my choice. We got to give our trans community jobs. That's what you want them to do, your trans community? Who is this trans community? How big is this community? Why aren't you empowering them? Why aren't you educating them? Why aren't you matching them with jobs? You want them to go out and be a sex worker? Your words, not mine. Awful and ugly. So we continually at the Warriors fight for legislation, help with legislation, talk about legislation. And that's what I need all of you. When I put out that call to action of signing on, it's always about numbers, and they watch all the numbers. You will be ready to add your name and your zip code. That's all it is. You have to do nothing else except support us in these movements. But no, this is going on and across the country, fighting very hard. But I'm going to leave you with this. Things have never looked better. The fight continues. We know we're right. We are here to engage people and educate and empower each and every one of you and our kids, right? Our families too. I have a terrific interview coming up next week, actually. Dr. Jerry Camarata. He wrote a wonderful book, longtime friend, colleague about the American family. And he knows, I'll leave it at that, what we need to do right now to get everything back on track. And so I urge all of you to keep following along. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. I don't want to hear any more people get unsubscribed. It's not your fault, but you've got to subscribe yourself. I can't do it for you. Do not forget about our newsletter that went out today. It will go out again tomorrow, so you still have a chance to sign up by going to our website, lynswarriors.org. Scroll down. Can't miss it. E-newsletter. Just sign up. I want you to know about the Black Poster Project. There is nothing more powerful than talking to mothers of children who have fallen from this illicit fentanyl and other addictions, but how they've come together. And they want all of you to know, you know why? They don't want any of this, what they're going through, to happen to you. Can you imagine their great hearts? Can you imagine sharing so bravely their stories and those of their children, because they don't want you to feel this sadness, this grief, this trauma that goes on for the rest of their lives. And they're such a great group of people, along with our great friends at the DEA. We applaud all of them. We don't want anybody buying illicit drugs online. We want you to tell your kids, and you too, unless you know where that pill came from, you don't take it. You do not take it unless it's prescribed to you. And that's a whole nother program anyway we'll talk about. So let's go through. Edie, always thank you for all of your warrior moves and always being a listener of ours and encouraging everybody to hit the like button, and for being a member. We have Cut Up Chatter, and we have thank you for always participating in all of your work, thinking about survivors. It is so appreciated, all you do. And then we have Lori Lewis. Lori, you've been with us, I think, from the beginning. Not I think, you have been. Thank you for all of that. Fred, you're the best with the memberships. That is exactly what is needed to get people on board with all of this information. And I leave you with something I really want everybody to think about. There's a lot of hope, a lot of good things happening. I have so much to report. I will have to report after next week back from Washington. You are going to be so, I want to say happy, because when the pendulum is swinging in the right direction and lives are being saved and resources are opening up and doors are opening up, it is something we should all remember and celebrate. Remember, honor our hashtag at the Warriors. Community creates change. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today. Watch out. I might drop, I don't know. It's a busy schedule. I might jump on, could be tomorrow, could be Friday, definitely over the weekend before I'm off for Washington. I want you all to be along with me, because you know what? All of you are warriors. So each and every day when you wake up, remember, go out and be a warrior. Thanks, everybody.